stand for you.
I argue now.
So he's not my president.
Now, when you
He may be the president, but he's not my president.
now when you how the hell did that happen? Oh my God! Now, when you suggest that he's the most racist or whatever the case may be, I have to ask because I've been debating with Black MAGA all day, and that undoubtedly comes up. They're suggesting that Trump ain't done shit that's racist, and in fact, he should be the choice for the black community. Now, I know you're not black, but I want to. What makes you say Trump is racist?
He has a long and storied history of doing very racist, hateful things.
Such as?
I don't personally have them all on hand, but it very much goes down to the redlining of when he was selling apartments in New York and then not selling to black people and putting the C on their applications. There was a whole undercover investigative sting. There are smash cuts of most things he's done in a chronological order from back in those days all the way to 2005. He has a storied past. Just because rappers enjoyed talking about him in the early 2000s on their songs doesn't mean he wasn't racist. He was just a public icon.
Well, I mean, you're right. Rappers did talk about him quite a bit, but I don't know. I guess
that's the only thing they have to say that he's not racist. It's pretty clear. And maybe in their minds he's not, but in my mind, in my mind's eye, he fits very squarely into that category. You're never going to change my mind on that.
But when you say he's pretty clear, keep in mind he actually improved his support coming from the minority community, whether we're talking Muslims, whether we're talking blacks, whether we're talking Hispanics, in all of those categories, his support went up, and he was running against a black woman. How does that work?
I don't truly know, Tim. That kind of hurts my soul that happened.
I mean,
but you see all these Latinos for Trump, and all of them are coming back and saying, "Oh, we made such a mistake." Well, when they start coming after these other groups because they're going to, well, then we'll hear them say, "Oh, I made such a big mistake."
Wait. That's kind of
how it's going to happen.
That's a bit concerning, sure. But you say when they start coming after these other groups, you got to elaborate. What the hell are you talking about? That sounds frightening. Elaborate.
Well, they're coming after the trans people because my sister is going through some shit. They're going to come after gays after that. Then they're going to come after the Arabs. And then they're going to come after everyone else. You know, the old saying, I wasn't a Jew, so I didn't worry about it.
I know the saying. Yeah, I know it.
Gay, so I didn't worry about it. It's coming. He's a man who hates other cultures. That's pretty clear. And if you don't agree with that, you're probably lying to yourself.
Well, let's start. And I see somebody in the comments says "can't stop, won't stop" in honor of P. Diddy, I guess, or in honor of Trump. Let me ask it this way: when you say they're coming after the trans, and now obviously you know someone who's trans, but when you say coming after the trans, in what way? Are you saying they're going to make it illegal to be transgender?
Yeah.
As an adult?
Yeah, absolutely.
How?
I've heard a story pretty recently of somebody that was trans and was denied the access to getting their passport renewed. And so it's expired. They needed a new one. They came in and said, all right, here's my paperwork. And they said, no, we can't do that. Your birth certificate said male. And so it's like, all right, well, put on my passport male. I don't care. Just I need my legal documentation. And then they said, no, we can't give it to you at all now. And so it's a very small, creeping process that they're going to take away every right and every ability to survive in our system if you don't fall under their stupid fucking categories.
Wow. So if you're trans, like if I become a transgender woman, which would probably be one of the ugliest women you've ever seen, but if I become a transgender woman, I can't get a passport whether it says female or male. They're just going to ban me from getting a passport. What you're saying could possibly happen.
That's what I think is going to happen. Now, maybe this was just a small clerical error and it was blown up out of proportion. But by how everyone is talking about it, I don't think so.
Wow. I hope you're wrong. I really do. Because certainly if your claim is they're going to go after other groups after the Hispanics, chances are, and I'm just guessing here, but there's chances are that I might potentially fall in one of those other groups. So it is.
They're already arresting judges. They're already going after the people that are fighting back. I think being on the Democratic side in enough time will be enough to get us locked up.
Well, but let's, in defense of Trump, let's be clear. The judges so far that he has arrested were committing crimes. I mean, if you're helping out somebody that's a federal criminal that's in the country with a deportation warrant or whatever, and you're helping them avoid that federal warrant, even though you're a judge, that is a crime.
What about the mayor of New Jersey getting arrested for checking out the ICE facility because he has the right by law to do that? They're going to arrest anybody that goes against what they say, Tim. I understand what you're saying, but they've already shown themselves to be already on the slippery slope, not approaching the platform.
Well, then I would have to ask the last question here is, because MAGA, the Republican Party, has spoken in favor of the Constitution since I've been alive. If Trump is doing all this unconstitutional shit, why is MAGA not saying anything?
Because I don't think it was truly about the Constitution. I think they used it in the originalist sense to then not allow the gay people, not allow the black people, because back when the Constitution was written, you had 3/5 compromise.
Okay.
And then they go back to saying, well, this is actually what they meant when the Constitution was written. So this is how our bias is going to come out. I think they've just been using it for their own privileges instead of actually going for equality.
I mean, you do paint a frightening picture. Just before I let you go, because I'm thinking about what you're saying. If there is a possibility of this happening, do we find ourselves in a position where Trump takes the country in one direction, and then whoever we get in 3 years or so, they do whatever they got to do to take it in another direction? Or do we have Trump or somebody he has ordained past that period of time? In other words, are we going to be done with Trump in 3.5 years?
I don't think we will be. I imagine we'll have to fight the Civil War to get that asshole out of there.
You have
seen
seen
the movie Civil War. It's probably going to be a lot like that ending.
Hey, you have said that before. Who's going to win?
But who knows? I am quite afraid of us getting to this situation, but we keep seeming to walk down that road versus stepping away and digging a new path.
All right, Sherbert, you don't see.
One last thing, Tim.
Go ahead.
One last thing. What the Supreme Court is doing and the last couple of rulings they put out are not showing any more confidence towards the fact that we will step away from a dictatorship. They keep giving an inch, Trump is taking a mile, and then everyone gets screwed over.
And if what you're saying is true, and I tend to agree more than disagree, but what's shocking about that is, do they not realize a dictator doesn't need a Supreme Court?
Well, I'm going to be interested if there is a real election next time, that now that the Republicans have gone so far, they have no legs to stand on when the Democrats come back and do the exact same thing to them and push and push and push, because I'm not willing to give up an inch anymore. I'm going to take that mile next time we have power.
But you do realize the motto. You do realize the motto of the Democratic Party is when they go low, we go high. Even if the Democrats win, if the Democrats win, I highly doubt.
Tim.
Huh?
No, that's how it was. It is new era. This is after COVID. That's not how it's going to happen anymore, Tim. I am not giving an inch, and I know most people aren't giving an inch anymore.
I'm just telling you, if the Democratic Party wins, I have a hard time seeing Gavin Newsom or even AOC going as far to the left as Trump is one to the right. I got to move it on, Sherbert. Thank you.
Have a good night, Tim.
You too. I'm just simply saying, I still believe that if the Democratic Party wins, they will try their best to still be in the guidelines. Trump plays on the edges. Trump is I don't want to say a rule breaker, but I guess I could. But Trump pushes the envelope. I don't think the Democrat Party would push the envelope as much as Trump. I mean, you got Obama recently on TV or on social media saying, imagine if I did everything Trump is doing. I just don't see it. Obviously, Biden wasn't trying to push the envelope like that at all. So I say when they go low, we go high. My guess is the Democrat Party is not going to push the envelope as strong as President Trump did. It would not surprise me if the Democrat Party got in there and they could prove, let's say, a bunch of ICE officials were crooked, or look, for the sake of the country, let's just heal and move on. To me, that's what the Democrat Party would do, as opposed to trying to have trials and go after people who did things wrong. I just don't see it. I just don't see it, but maybe I'm wrong. They respect the Constitution, says, I can't pronounce the name there, but real election, Kamala win a primary I not know about. No, she did not. Kamala did not win the primary. Can someone tell me how Trump could become a dictator? Because it mechanically isn't possible. Well, I can tell you how Trump could become a dictator. If he has control of the Senate, control of the House, and control of the Supreme Court, and none of them get in his way. They just let him do whatever he wants to do without any pushback. Essentially, he's a dictator. It's as simple as that. If everybody just keeps rolling over for him, he's essentially a dictator. I believe Paramount Studios, or Paramount, the media outlet or whatever, they just settled a lawsuit with him. I don't know what it was about exactly, but he just won a few $1 million from Paramount. He won money from Disney. He's won money from other companies under the guise that they said something that was wrong about him, or edited some videos he was in, whatever the case may be, some fake news type shit, and he was able to sue. Well, keep in mind, here's when we're talking about dictator, because dictator is, I can do it to you, but you can't do it to me. You know how much things that Trump has said about media outlets and other individuals that's not true? The whole damn community of Springfield, Ohio should be able to sue him for accusing them of eating cats and dogs. So he's able to go after the media when they say things about him that are not true, but nobody can go after him when he says things about them that are not true. And Trump says a whole lot of things about people that are not true. I often play the clip of how he accuses blacks of being wholesale murderers of whites. He didn't get sued for it. So he is one of the first presidents that is suing media outlets for saying things about him. Think about all the shit Fox News was saying about Obama and Biden that wasn't true. They didn't sue Fox. I'm sure they could have done it as well. Trump pushes the envelope. Before Trump, politicians weren't trying to sue media outlets. You just kind of understood they're going to say shit about you that ain't true. I mean, you think everything Rush Limbaugh, may he rest in peace, if some of you didn't agree with that, but you think everything he was saying was true? You could have sued, what is it, Excellence in Broadcast? You could have sued him. Gangsta Grandma, good evening, welcome to the program. I see you there, Greg. Peace, Trump.
I can't stand your bald-headed ass. What you did to me the other day when your ass was on live, you didn't add me, and I pay over $12 for your order.
What did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah, well, what you did to? You had a little cupcake Fruit Loops up there. You had all the little fluffies, all the little triple K's, and then left my ass in the thing. And I said, add me.
Let me respond to you. Let me respond to you. I saw you in the comment. Hold on, let me respond to you. I saw you in the comments saying that, and I wasn't looking for you. You were not on the list, gangster. It wasn't. I didn't try to avoid your ass. You weren't on there.
Ooh, if I was out, I'd be knocking you in your coconut. I promise you.
I don't, gangster. No, you put me through piles of shit. Yet I remain with nothing but love for you. I bring you up. I don't run from you.
I love you too, Timmy. If I was your wife, I'd still be knocking you in your fucking head. I'll shit you not. But let's get back to something, Tim. Let me tell you something. You think the Democrats are not going to come back with, we're coming. And everything that the Republicans have done, we are going to come harder. What they're doing in the House right now, taking people's Medicaid away, their food stamps away, we're going to come. We're going to come. I promise you we're going to come.
I don't.
You say, white tears are going to come their way.
Do you think, when you say white tea tears, do you think the white tea people are going to allow the Democrats to do all of this shit? I mean, or are we talking about what Sherbert talking about? Civil unrest.
Oh, don't be that. Whatever his name is, Sherbert. Isn't that like an ice cream or something, Sherbert?
Yes.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, him, that dude. Yeah, he's right.
agree. And by the way, Darth Valga says, shout out to Gangsta Grandma on YouTube. Thank you. I will tell you this. I just believe that there are going to be liberals that are going to say, as opposed to going after all of these folks on the right that may have done things wrong, for the sake of healing this country, let's just move on and correct what we can.
Okay, let me tell you something. We used to go high. Feel me? The Democrats used to go high. Oh, it ain't no high no more. You let the Triple K in. You let the Triple K destroy people. You're giving the biggest tax breaks to the billionaires. To the billionaires.
Yeah. How?
They didn't get it. They don't care. Don't care about the middle class or the working class or anything like that. And your little 15-hour job, Jeremy, she's delusional. Okay, okay, little white boy, it's coming your way. Because if you think private insurance, if you think it's all going to be it's expensive now, oh, honey, it's going to go through the damn roof. And it's all because of your orange Jesus.
How about we just correct any damage that the Democrats perceive coming from the big, beautiful bill or some of Trump's?
It's going to take years to correct.
I don't disagree with that.
It's going to take years. It's going to take years. And then you over here telling people, oh, this is going to be another Republican office. It ain't going to be a Republican office for a very fucking long time. People's going to be so sick of the Republicans. They ruined, your little orange Jesus, your little cocoa mud. They ruined.
I hear what you say, Gangster. I hear what you're saying, but I'm still talking to Black MAGA every day. They are extremely happy with Trump.
You know what? The little sellouts, the little yes master, the little raccoonies. Yeah, they sell us. They love that white dagger leg uncooked meat. Okay, they got protein all over their mouth. You know what I mean? Yes, master. I want to be next to white. Yes, master. But guess what? They're going to be the first ones in that damn concentration camp in Florida. Because he's coming for us.
So you believe? So you agree?
Said it again.
You agree with Sherbert that the Hispanics are not the only minority community that should be worried. Is that what you're telling me?
I've been told you that.
What is making?
I've been told you that.
But what's making?
I'm telling you, history is repeating itself. They went from the Hispanics when W. Beck. I can't say the first word, but W. Beck came. They went for them. Then they went for them in the 30s again. This is repeating itself. They come for us next. They are.
Real quick in the comments. Real quick in the comments. No reply says she's white, right? No, she is not white. Gangsta Grandma is not white. Yeah, she's not white. She ain't repping whites by any stretch of the imagination.
You ain't got hell no.
Yeah.
I ain't no rich. You got me fucked up.
Yeah, but folks like Barney Joseph in the comments is saying that liberals like me, you're still on the Democratic plantation and all that. So they're saying that, Gangsta Grandma, that blacks who vote for the Democrat Party are somehow brainwashed and remaining on the plantation. Why do you think they?
They're the ones that are on the plantation. They're the ones that's bent over. They're the ones that are bent over and taking it. They are. They're the ones. Yes, master. They got his protein all over it. They got his protein all over him.
You and his protein.
It is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
So let me ask you this. When you say that Trump may ultimately go after other members of the community, other members of the minority community, other than just Hispanics, what is he doing to make you say something that is that?
Are you?
Go ahead.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
I want to know.
He has always been saying he's coming after the homegrown. Always. He's always said that. He's always said it. And last week, what's it today? Oh, yeah. Last week, he said it again. Why is he building prisons? Why?
But
why is he down there in Florida? Why? You only think it's for the undocumented? Hell no.
But why when Trump says he's coming for the homegrown, why would you automatically assume that means minorities?
When the Triple K tells you they're coming for the homegrown, you better listen to what he's saying.
We listening.
He's the Triple K.
He's
the Triple K.
What is?
You think he's gonna put white people in? You think he's gonna put white white people in there? Do you really? Do you really?
Well,
He brought South Africa over, okay? He has not deported all the undocumented that came over and overstayed. He's defunding Medicaid, Medicare, and taking food stamps away. He's doing things.
But all the stuff you're saying, wait, Gacy Grandma, all the stuff you're saying, putting homegrown, getting rid of healthcare and things, that stuff affects white people. What is he doing to make you think he's going after blacks?
On that one, I give you props on that one. And let's change the subject real quick. The same people that voted for him is going down, and he don't give two F's for them. He don't give two F's about them. If he gave two F's about them, why is he defunding Medicaid? Why is he defunding? Why does he defunding Medicare? Why is he taking your food stamps away? Tell me why? Why? Because the hospitals in the rural areas is going to close.
Well, there's more to it than that, Gangster Grandma. He's talking about. Hold on. He's talking.
No.
He's talking about cutting this stuff because you shouldn't get it if you're not at least trying to work. 80 hours. Hold on. 80 hours. Working 80 hours a month.
How much does protein taste like? Because you always say, oh, he's kidding it. Because the people, they do work. Do you comprehend that? They work. Obamacare, they work. They have to work. It's not free. Medicaid, you have to go in under the requirements. If they make $10 over, they don't get it. What are you talking about?
Let me clear it up for you. This is worded better than I just did. In the comments, PA Motorsport says he's not defunding Medicaid except for people that take advantage of the system. How do you respond to that?
We're not defunding Medicaid. They're taking over $100 trillion, but they're not defunding it. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, he's defunding it for those who are using it fraudulently.
Do you know that's most of their budget? What he's taking is most of their budget.
Well, according to him, most of the people on it don't probably deserve to be on it.
FOFA. Let me tell you something, okay? I voted for them. I didn't vote for me. I don't get Medicaid. I don't get Medicare. I don't get food stamps. I'm upper there. I could have got my tax break, but I didn't vote for myself. I voted for the middle class, the poor, the working poor, the ones that need it. That's who I voted for.
Okay.
See, what they thought they voted for was, oh, he's going to come in and he's going to do everything and give us everything that we want. We want the $5,000. Where's it at?
No.
Where's the $5,000 at?
He's only been in office for 5.5 months, gangster.
I don't give a damn. Where's it at?
Man,
Where's it at?
you might be judging the guy a bit harshly.
$1 trillion getting cut. WIC is getting cut. CHIPS is getting cut.
What is that? What did you say is getting chips? What is that?
It's a child insurance. It's child insurance. CHIPS is getting cut. Okay? Cancer research for kids is getting cut. Kids that are dying from cancer, they're cutting it. Why? Why, Tim?
Well,
Why do you think they're cutting this shit? Why?
Well,
To give the billionaires a fucking tax cut.
what about the?
Can't people just go read the damn bill? I mean, hell.
Hold
Reading
up.
comprehension, it's all.
I can't. No, I'm not gonna read the bill. They read the bill on the Senate floor, and it took them fucking 14 hours. I'm not gonna read all that. I'm not gonna.
And the pro-life and the pro-life. Why are they pro-life? If I'm pro-life, I would give food stamps to the women and want to have babies. I would help them. I would have cut the Medicaid. They're not pro-life. They're forced birth. Hell, they had a beautiful dead black woman carry a fetus until what? Huh? A dead woman.
I heard she just delivered that baby too. She was on life support. They just kept her alive.
No, she's not. She didn't deliver the baby. She didn't push the baby out.
No.
She was dead.
Yeah, she was
They
dead.
took it from a corpse.
Yeah.
Now, how sick was that? So don't tell me
Wait, but let me respond to that. How do you respond to Christians that might say,
Oh, these ain't no Christians.
hold on.
I'm a Christian. See, let me tell you about Christian. A real Christian. A real Christian. We go out to our communities. We feed the homeless. We don't take from the poor. Okay,
But how do you respond to a Christian that might say the baby did not have anything to do with the fact that his mom ended up brain dead? If the baby is viable and can survive, why would you why would you deliberately let a baby perish if you could save the life of it?
She was 9 weeks pregnant when she first went into the hospital. She should have just went and left the baby. Just go.
But,
Let her die in peace and take the baby with her. Oh no!
but
The fake Christians, the ones that what is it called? The ones that are handmaids, made the hospital keep her body alive. So-called body alive, right? So-called. Okay? To not even deliver a ticket from a corpse, a baby. Okay? And the baby wasn't even developing right.
yeah, but they ended up saving a life. You not giving me any credit for doing that? They saved a life, gangster.
No, that's not saving a life. That is beyond. That was a disgusting thing. That wasn't even meant to happen. God called her home. See, that's a real Christian. God called that woman home, and everything in part of her body should have been home with her. But no, they took her and made her be an incubator for a fetus. That is disgusting. And then Jeremy and I said, "You didn't know Christian." I'm more of a Christian you ever would be.
So you believe the right thing to do would have been to let a baby that they have now saved die.
Amen. It's not a baby at 9 weeks. It's a fetus. It's a clump of cells. It's a blood clot.
It's a living baby now.
No. And you know what? That baby's gonna have so many damn problems. So many damn problems. It has water on the brain and everything.
I think that's better than being dead, though. Don't you think so?
The baby may not even have a life. Ain't that some selfish crap? The baby's gonna grow up without a mother. Ain't that some selfish crap?
But the baby is going to grow up.
With what? It can't see?
What do you mean it
It
can't?
probably can't walk. It's not doing good. That baby has so many problems right now. It's disgusting what they're doing. And that's a Christian? Hell, it ain't no damn Christian. Oh, no, that's the devil.
Well,
That's the devil. All they want us for, and I promise you.
she may have had a call. We'll give her.
Hold on. All they want us for is to have babies. And they don't want our black butts to have babies. They don't want the Hispanics to have babies. They want the white tea people to have babies. Because God fucking forbid those are going to be in the minority.
But it wasn't the woman that's the topic of our discussion right now. She was black, was she not?
No shit. They have to treat all of us like that.
So the party that you're referring to as a racist party went out of their way to save a black baby. How do you?
They have to treat all of us like that. Because the white tea went in. And you sorry son of a B words, white tea women that voted for this man. Oh, your day's coming. And let me tell you about these so-called fake Christians. If you so-called believe in God, your day's coming. Your reckoning's coming. You may get in this lifetime. You may not get in this till the next lifetime. But, buddy, God don't like ugly.
What do you say? MAGA's going to hell?
Well, MAGA's going, honey, God's waiting for them. One day, I promise you. One day. Oh, it's in the Bible. They say, I'm following Jesus' ways. I'm following Jesus. No, they ain't. You're supposed to feed the poor. You're not supposed to deny.
You went from defending the right to take the life of a baby that was viable to MAGA's going to hell. Someone said the liberals are going to hell based on what you were just saying.
No, I'm pro-life. Honey. What are you talking about? I'm pro-life. I'm the one that would give the women the opportunity to give and receive help. I'm the one that will give them the insurance. I'm the one that will give them the food. They don't. The forced birth. What are you talking about, Willis?
You were just fighting for literally unaliving.
When a baby, when a fetus is 9 weeks gestation, who do you have to depend on? The mother. Okay? Our bodies. Okay? The baby cannot survive outside the room until between, and it depends on a damn hospital, between 20 and 24 weeks. And that even depends on where you're at, honestly.
They saved the baby's life, and you're going to tell them that they're the ones.
They didn't save a baby. They made a baby torture. They made a baby torture in a dead body. Okay? Why do you think that baby has so many damn mental problems? And the brain is swollen and stuff? Why? Why couldn't you let him, the baby, and her go back up? Why?
Because they believe in saving the life of the unborn, gangster.
Okay, they believe in saving the life of the unborn. How about the kids now? Huh? How about them now? How about the pew-pew shootings? Huh? The white kids killing other kids? Huh? How about that? They don't give a fuck.
That's a different argument.
Get the fuck out
That's
here.
a different.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I'm so sick and tired of the maggots. I'm so sick. I don't give them credit. I don't give them nothing. I promise you, if I had a white tea person that was our ally and the other person that was drowning, hello, I'm picking the white tea ally.
God.
Fuck about the next one.
You would watch MAGA drown.
I fucking will. And if the shark ate it, the shark ate it. Oh well, goodbye. One less damn devil.
How are you any better than folks who celebrate alligator Alcatraz?
Oh no, because see, they did that for hate. See, I can't do it. I can't swim twice. I got out of breath. Hello, I can't do it. Nope. I don't have 2 walks. Nope.
You sure? You're saying they're doing it for hate. How do you respond to folks who are suggesting that you yourself are hateful towards MAGA?
You know what? Let me tell you something. God said, turn the other cheek. I can't do that. I'm still working in the process.
All right.
God said, I can repent, honey. God said, you're supposed to turn the other cheek. Oh, I can't. Nope.
I can see the. I can see the.
I still follow God's teachings about feeding the hungry, about feeding the poor, about going out there and doing things. That's what I do. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
What they're doing is pure hate. What they're doing is degrading the Hispanics, okay?
Right.
Like they so-called black jobs, they're going to put us back in the fields and stuff. How about that? The black jobs, he was saying, you dipshit, the black jobs. Oh, the Mexicans are taking your blood. Oh, yeah. They're going to put you back out in the field doing the cotton again.
All right, Gangsta Grandma, I do got to move it on.
You know what? I swear to God, you was on that fucking damn, what's his name, Friday? Yeah, but you know what? Get the
I gotta go.
You know what? I'm going to, you guarantee. Let me promise, I gotta say one more last thing. I'm going to come up on one of those lives. I'm going to. And if you think I'm bad now, oh, hell, MAGA ain't gonna like me then. So I'm gonna give them all they Peter Weeders on the stick with them, okay?
All right, I gotta go. Appreciate it, Gangsta Grandma. By the way, Jeremy brought her name up. So when I was on the other lap, her name was up. And I do agree with you, Johnny Ohio, in saying that they'll just mute you. They will do that. Because listen, when I say we are uncensored, when I say we are MAGA friendly, that's not just bullshit being discussed. I am MAGA friendly, been that way since day one. And we don't have a moderator here. Dinkow, appreciate it. Thank you for the support. We don't block, ban, or censor here. So yeah, when I do go into MAGA lives and things like that, I get muted all the time. I was in a MAGA live today for several hours. I got muted probably over a dozen times. Nobody gets muted here. I don't turn off the mic. I don't block, ban, or censor. You got to do quite a bit here before I take you off the program. It's usually when you're deliberately trolling. Occasionally I get a viewer that'll just say the N-word over and over and over again in the comments. I've normally even banned that, but you're fucking around and cause the apps to take the program down. So in cases like that, but for the most part, we're all about free speech. And yes, that is correct. When I go into right-wing social media platforms, I get banned, blocked, dropped, canceled, shut down all the time. It does happen. And I know there's plenty of liberal platforms that do the same to the right. We don't do that to anybody here. When we say we go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q, and everybody gets to speak without any concern of being blocked, banned, or censored, damn it, we mean it. Bicone Syfax, I do apologize for the delay in your comment, but you says, top earners pay the most in federal income tax, not the bottom 10%, 50,000 or under. Yeah, but I don't know. I try to figure out how to say this. Yeah, if you're making $1 billion, yeah, you're a top earner. You're gonna pay a lot more than somebody making $50,000 a year. But most of the country falls in the $50,000 category. So it's like being attacked by a sea of ants. One ant can't do shit to a high-earning human being, but thousands and thousands of them might make your ass fall down and writhe in pain. So I don't know if I quite agree with what you're saying. I don't totally agree with that. In the comments, the bottom 50% pays nothing. That ain't true. Because there's areas where that is not true. You telling me the bottom 50% pays nothing? That is absolutely not true. Have you looked at your check lately? Tell me when you look at your check stub, you walk away thinking I ain't paid shit. I'm an independent who votes issues, who like a liberal show. Okay, Joe Blow, love the name. Thank you for coming through. Going back to the box, we'll go straight to Dincal. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Glad to know you're willing to listen to other people's opinions. That's what makes us American. God bless. Thank you, Mama Pre. And yeah, we don't have to agree with the host on this show at all. In fact, I take criticism all the time. I think my last caller is a good demonstration of that. Dincal, good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, so you heard Gangsta Grandma. I'm asking, in regard, we're doing a Trump in review. How are you feeling about the Trump administration so far? He's about to get through the big, beautiful bill. That seems like it's imminent that it's going to pass. So he's getting through one of his signature pieces of legislation. Most of the things Trump has wanted to do, he's been free to do it. How are you feeling about the direction the country's going in?
I think we're going backwards.
We're
going backwards from where we were at.
Backwards how?
I think we're going back. I mean, a lot of the stuff in this bill it's not for the middle and lower classes. Like, I don't understand why all of these people, a lot of these people in these rural towns and all of this stuff are so excited about what Trump is doing when he's not helping them at all. There's not a bunch of companies coming back, building factories for rural towns. All of this stuff in this bill has got nothing to do with them. They've done analysis on these what they call these tax breaks, and some of the lower income households are actually going to pay more taxes under this new proposal. And it gets larger and larger and larger the more money you make. And it's just funny how people get on here saying, well, the rich people pay most of the tax. Well, yeah, they're making the vast majority of the profits.
Yeah. But how about the notion that, some folks just believe Trump has the country's best interests at heart, such as in the comments, Mama Poe says he has the best intentions for all Americans, black, white, brown, and every color in between. So maybe they're favoring what Trump does because at the end of the day, they just think this guy is going to look out for all of us versus maybe the Liberal Party that's picking and choosing certain communities. What say you?
See, the problem with a lot of people, and I hate to just confine this to like white Americans, but when they say all and us, they're not talking about everybody. Nobody from the black community is saying it's cool that he's removing all of the African American history from the education system, and he's removing like actual monuments, and he's taking names off of ships. It's amazing to me that somebody that says we can't take down a Confederate statue because that's erasing history, but then they're taking the names off of ships of somebody because that person was gay.
Gay, yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying?
That did happen.
So,
that did happen.
Yes. So that when they say he's doing stuff for all people, they say all people, who do you think that alligator Alcatraz is designed for? All people?
Well, he did say he wants to send homegrown criminals to places like that too.
Exactly, and they just haven't been affected by it, but they will. When he's talking about homegrown, who do they think he's talking about?
Just bad Americans. I mean, you're not talking about.
Look, America has had the largest incarcerated population in the world
For quite a while.
decade.
Yeah, for a while.
We know how to deal with violent people. We don't need to send. Why would we send a violent person to another country, to a place, to a God-forsaken place? And now, when we say when they say, well, he's talking about the bad people. Right now in this country, the only person who gets to decide who is bad is Donald Trump. He gets to decide who's illegal. He gets to decide who's the worst of the worst. Not the justice system anymore. It's him. He says that he tells them, "I'm getting rid of all of these murders and rapists that were coming across the border." Now they grabbing up grandma. They grabbing up Jose that was on the work site. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make a living for his family. This is not what he campaigned on.
Yeah, but how do you respond to folks who would say, okay, grandma is not a rapist or a murderer, but she is in the country illegally? Do you believe people that are here undocumented or illegally should be addressed, or should you just let them stay here?
The problem we have is we keep on putting everybody in the same pile. We keep saying either illegal or legal or undocumented. Listen, there are so many different categories of people. We're talking about the people here on certain visas are getting revoked. We're talking about people who are here on a temporary protected status.
Yeah.
We're talking about asylum seekers. We're talking about what do they call it? Humanity. I forgot. They got all of these different categories, and they putting everybody. They saying if you came across the border, you are illegal. And that is not the way our Constitution was set up. It actually tells you have to come across the border to claim asylum. So you have to set foot in America. Yeah. And the vast majority of them are doing it at ports of entry. That's why we keep seeing the pictures of them, because they're coming to ports of entry to turn themselves in. That is the legal process. And then to turn around and say, well, even if you did it the right way, you're now illegal.
And that is happening. So how about Creed in the comments says, seems like Biden should have did a better job at the border. Probably wouldn't be having this problem. So if we didn't have Biden
we're not going to use the past president to justify what is going on now. What he did has nothing to do with saying that Cubans or Haitians that came over here under protected status because they were living in tyrannical governments or war-torn countries like Haiti, which they're saying now, one side is saying that it's okay to send them back because everything's good, but the State Department has a bulletin out that says don't fucking go to these places.
Yeah. They said that about Haiti. I wonder would they say Cuba has gotten better soon, but they have said that Haiti is safe to return to. I think he's going to get some people killed sending them back to Haiti. It would not surprise me.
They just put out the numbers from USAID from them disbanding that, saying that in the next 5 to 10 years we're talking about 14 million people around the world are going to die because we cut off USAID. And these people got the nerve to get up here and talk about they pro-life and all of this shit. They don't give a shit about nobody but themselves.
And I see in the comments, Ghost responded to what you were saying with 3 words: not our problem. So yeah, if you go to Haiti and you end up, I mean, at the end of the day, their problems in Haiti, those are not our problems. How do you? I mean, how do you respond to a lot of Americans who would say we can't be the world's charity? We can't take everybody in. Every conflict, every suffering immigrant is not our problem.
That is the kind of rationale that led people through World War II. That led us through the Civil War. It led us through almost every horrific thing that has gone on. Slavery, all of that. It's people like that saying, it's not our fault. We ain't got nothing to do with it. That was the whole reason why this country was created, to be different from the other countries. To have compassion for others, to allow people to come and to create better life for themselves. That was the whole point about the American experiment. It wasn't to come over here, steal the land from the people who were here, and just turn it into some sanctuary for Europeans. Because ain't nobody said nothing about all of the Europeans that are here illegal. Not one time have we seen any deported Europeans going to Alcatraz or to El Salvador or nothing. This is all about people of color.
Well, they did just have a Canadian that died in ICE custody. They are grabbing some white people. I mean, fact is, most of the people coming in this country, I mean, it is happening.
That's the way you do. I get it. You got to play devil's advocate. But you talking about one fucking person, and now you saying they are grabbing white people? No, that's no.
But then, Cal, I'm gonna give you the Republican response. One is too many. So one white person is too many.
Right. While we watch 100,000 other people, one white person, we got to put a stop to that.
Yeah.
And look, the people don't understand what's happening with themselves and their jobs, and they think it's all cool because Trump told us we about to start feeling the effects of this great economy. They've got people who've done studies as far as this AI stuff is concerned, and they're talking about AI will probably take over 40% of the labor force in this country by 2030.
Well, maybe not so much now that Elon's about to get deported. So maybe that'll slow down somewhat. Did Elon Musk not make what is looking like the worst political investment in U.S. history? He gave $350 million to the Trump campaign, and they're literally talking about possibly deporting them. They've gotten rid of the e-vehicle mandate. I mean, Trump is threatening Starlink, even threatening to sick Doge on him. Did that man really throw away $350 million?
Now, I would have to wait and see. I think there's a lot of rhetoric being thrown around, but at the end of the day, if you look at the man's net worth, where he spent $300 million, and now he's profited, his net worth has gone up like $100 billion since that happened. So
I think that Elon financially would have been better off if he had just avoided the Republican Party. And to some degree, the liberals were the ones that were passing e-vehicle mandates and shit all over the country. If he had avoided the Republican Party and remained neutral, you would have a whole lot of liberals still buying his cars. They wouldn't be getting marked up. The stock of Tesla would not have went down. I know he's made money because he has so much of it. But my guess is he would have made a lot more had he not gotten involved with Trump.
I mean, look, I hear what you're saying, but like Tesla is not the whole ball of wax for him.
It's like, a lot of it.
You're talking about somebody who went into this situation at around $200 billion, and now he's at around $380, and you're talking about he lost some millions of dollars with Tesla. And, like, people are missing the forest through the trees. Like, this dude doesn't need America. He can go to China. He can go to Russia. He can go to South Africa, and he can do just as good. Because nobody can take away those satellites that he's put up there in the space.
You do realize the Trump administration could either compete with them or sanction them so that a lot of free nations are not allowed to use them. I think that he could seriously hurt them. That's why Trump said Trump said something like he could lose a lot still. I mean, Trump was making threats. And real quick, before you continue, someone said Deputy his name is Deputy. I don't know if he's a cop, but he said, so someone tell me then, how was this land stolen? Are there Americans that do not know how we acquired this? Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna even, I'm not gonna even go, like, that's a stupid question. I'm not gonna even answer that question. If you don't know by now, you don't want to know. You didn't go to school, you didn't learn anything at school. If you don't know that when you sail a ship and you pull up somewhere and somebody's standing there, you did not discover it.
Yeah.
And when you kill and enslave all of the people there and take their shit, then that should be pretty obvious.
Well, here is the rationale from a follow-up comment. I can sell you a car and then 20 years later come back and accuse you of theft. So the Native Americans sold us the U.S. and then later they came back and accused us of stealing it. That's kind of what he sounded like he's saying. That the original inhabitants sold us this land, and then after we gave them the money, because we always pay up on our debts, then later on they came back and said we stole it. Is that how history has led you to believe?
Listen, they didn't even have an economy. Like the Indians didn't believe, they weren't selling. Everything was about give and take. It was like, well, we use the land, this year because that's when the antelopes run, that kind of shit. They wasn't out there wheeling and dealing like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Just now later on, they did buy Manhattan and shit like that, but that was after all of the damage was done. They had basically taken the whole fucking country. And you ask the damn ancestors of the people who walked in the Trail of Tears whether they was out there negotiating.
Yeah, I've never heard somebody say something like that the Native Americans sold the country. They weren't even united. They had different tribes all over the country. It wasn't like you just met one guy who represented America and was like, oh, here's the price I want to sell. Like it's a drug deal in the middle. That's how you fuck up history, telling people stuff like that. I can't believe the man was saying that. So let me ask you something before.
That's how the daughters of the Confederate were able to control the textbooks and the information that a lot of people got in their early education about what the hell happened. And we got idiots like that walking around really believing like it was a fair trade, like they traded in, they first of all, what the fuck did they have to trade? What the hell did they have to offer? Like, they didn't have shit.
Right.
They had to be taught by the Indians how to survive because they didn't know how to farm or anything.
Yeah. And somebody in the comments made a good point by saying the Native Americans didn't think you could even own land. They thought it was a crazy idea to own land. It was kind of like buying air. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Before I move it on from you, I was on another live today, and most of the day, just while I was working, I was talking in this live. A host of minorities that are all MAGA, that's usually where you find me, and they're telling me that the black population is just on the fucking Democratic plantation and that blacks need to start realizing that the Republican Party has our best interests at heart. Why do you think even right now, Trump has been in office almost 6 months. The black community is still very favorable to Trump. Black MAGA is. Why do you think that is?
All I can say is the same thing I said for the other people. Like, it has not touched their lives yet. It has not touched their lives yet. Black MAGA, they're in the same position they were the first time he was in office. They're in the same position they're in right now. It's not necessarily affecting their lives. But when you have police running around with masks on, not identifying themselves, snatching people up, and we normalize that, and we got the president today or yesterday out there to looking at, saying we got to get some more homegrown, you can imagine they black asses is the ones that's going to be homegrown.
So do you agree with what Gates and Grandma said, is that after the Hispanics, the Trump administration is likely to come for other minority communities?
What else would it be left to go? Like he understands that the black minority is so small, the ones that voted for him, he doesn't give a shit about them. He really doesn't. And one thing I wanted to, before I go, I just wanted to let people know that in this big, beautiful bill, And just like I explained to you how it's talking about getting rid of 40% of the labor force in this country, in the big beautiful bill, they have it that states cannot regulate AI for 10 years. So think about that. They're telling the states' rights party is telling all of the states, you cannot control this AI that's about to hit the ground running.
That's a good point to bring out, because they do claim to be very much pro states' rights, but here it is, you're talking about their handicapping the states from what would have been their right. Well, we'll see how it works. Like I said, MAGA's very happy. Didn't count. Thanks for coming through.
All right, take it easy.
All right, you too. Looking in the comments, and camel toe, do not a dang thing. Okay, you know why don't people still keep talking about Kamala? Because I'm assuming you're talking about Kamala Harris with camel toe, but what the fuck did Mike Pence do? The vice president is not responsible for doing much. I don't know why the same folks that complain that Kamala Harris didn't do anything are not bragging about Mike Pence doing anything either. The vice president is not known for doing much. Their job is to kind of really be there if something happens to the president, or in cases of a tie in the Senate, they vote. J.D. Vance just did that the other day with the big beautiful bill. He was the tie vote. That's it. J.D. Vance ain't doing shit. What else has J.D. Vance done since he's been vice president? He's not doing anything other than telling Zelensky that you ain't thanked Trump enough. You didn't say thank you. That is his #1 achievement so far, is you didn't say thank you to President Trump. He ain't doing nothing. The vice president is not known for doing anything. So I don't know why you guys are banging Kamala Harris. But before we go on to the next caller, I'm going to ask that you tap the screen. I haven't asked you guys to do that yet, and I appreciate the 25,000 likes that came in anyway. If you do favor this type of dialogue, uncensored dialogue from all sides of the aisle, you are in the right place. I would ask that you follow the program if you're currently watching on TikTok or Clapper. We're also on Clapper. Thank you there, Trucker Man for Life. Shout out to you. Thank you for that. In honor of the 4th. Appreciate the fireworks. But if you're watching on TikTok or we're not on Instagram, we're on Clapper today. Follow the program if you're watching on either one of those apps. If you're watching on YouTube, give your boy a sub, because the program is ran in that manner. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. We are indeed MAGA friendly. Been MAGA friendly ever since day one. Always will be. We go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having a dinner with Q. Now, I brought this up with Gangsta Grandma earlier before we continue on, but I'm assuming all of you folks still remember this.
How we insist that the hateful language they hear from public figures on TV does not represent the true spirit of this country. How we explain that when someone is cruel or acts like a bully, you don't stoop to their level. No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
What are the chances that that will not age well? If you're leaning left, to all of my liberals, Democrats, progressives that may be watching, yes or no, do you still agree with Michelle Obama? She had you heard the resounding applause in the background. How many of you believe that Michelle Obama has the right mindset? By way of yes or no, how many of you folks believe that we should do what Michelle Obama said? Because it seems like it's not aging well.
That when someone is cruel or acts like a bully, you don't stoop to their level. No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
You hear the applause in the background. I see a whole lot of liberals and like, maybe not. No, we kick them now. Damn. Shy. CH1970 says no. So when they go low, you kick them when they down. The left has lost their way, says Marty B. Oh my God. So there's a lot of no's in the comments. Not in this climate. Gotta call Lil Jon. Yeah. All right, let me go back to the box. I know I have that in here. There we go. There's Lil Jon. Hasn't aged well. I do agree with her, says Dylan. I don't know. A lot of liberals don't. I love Michelle. I grew up with her in my childhood. Really? Hold on a second. I'm going to have to take this for a quick minute. Damn, I wasn't expecting a call to come in, and it just went away. Give me a second, folks. I don't normally do this, but it's my daughter calling. What is it? From everywhere. Yeah, what's up? Hang on. Damn, I hate doing this on air. It should take a couple seconds here. What does that say in the comments? I want to know what Ja Rule thinks. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, what's up? I'm live. I'm live. What's up? Why? All right, in a few minutes. All right, gotta go. All right, I was not expecting to interrupt my damn show. So when Jesus says turn the other cheek, that has not aged well, Maurice. That has not aged well. In fact, I don't think we ever was like that. I don't think, at least in this country, I don't think mankind ever honored that. When you say turn the other cheek, I don't think mankind ever honored that slogan. We've never been that way. We've never turned the cheek. I mean, revenge has been part of the mindset of man. So no, I don't think that's ever happened. Daughters are more important than this, Tim. Yeah, definitely. But if the call ain't about nothing, that's different. Somebody just calling you to fuck with you. You know, some people be right in the same house and they call you to ask you something. Like, okay, but anyway, do you see Donald Trump answer the question about detainees? No, I haven't seen that. I'd be curious to know what he asked. What he talked about. No, I know most Christians do not act like Christ. No, I don't think I know of any Christians that are very Christian-like. I mean, what we're talking about now about how immigrants and things like that are being treated, that ain't Christ-like. Okay, yeah, the person entered the country illegally, or in some cases they came here asking for asylum like the Haitians did. We're not treating them in a Christ-like manner. We're telling them, look, I'm more focused on making sure I got enough money for myself, get the fuck out. To me, I say this all the time, it's kind of like if you watch The Last Supper where you're dividing up the bread, we would charge the people for the bread. I mean, we're not very assisting or helpful to the folks. So no, I don't see it at all. Arshafine, good evening, welcome to the program. Did Christ follow the laws of the land? So you beat the shit out of Jesus? Arshafine, good evening.
Hey there, Tim.
Hey.
I am so sorry. I'm on my way to a job interview right now, so I've been holding on. So I'll try to see if you're on when I get done.
Okay, appreciate it. Come on back through.
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks. What are you gonna do when ICE? What does that say? What are you gonna do when ICE knocks at your door? You know something? I know you're being sarcastic, but that is why some people are starting to flirt with maybe leaving America, because there are people who are starting to believe that might happen.